Om Partaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavatam Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitaamritavarshini Bhagavate Ashtadashadyayini Amba Tvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavatveshini. O Bhagavad Gita, it was through thy help that Narayana, the Lord himself, brought enlightenment to Arjuna. Afterwards, Vyasa, a sage of ancient times, incorporated thee in the Mahabharata. O goddess, through thy 18 chapters, thou showerest the immortal nectar of the wisdom of non-duality and destroyest man's rebirth in this mortal world. O Mother, I meditate on thee. The Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18. Shankaracharya begins the preamble with, this chapter is begun by stating, with the view of stating, the summing up of all the preceding chapters, the purport of the Bhagavad Gita, which also is the purport of the entire range of the scriptures called the Vedas. So it's a purport of the Bhagavad Gita. It is the purport also of the Vedas. And what is the purport of all these things? Well, it is liberation. This is called the scripture for liberation. And this chapter is aptly named Sannyasa Yoga. So here we have, it's translated as monasticism and liberation. Moksha Sannyasa Yoga. Moksha, it is liberation, it is freedom. With all our activities, one thing underlies everything, what we say, do, speak, and that is, we can't relinquish the idea of freedom. If this idea of freedom wasn't there in our lives, we would not be able to live and progress and work. Take that away, it's all over. So that is the underlying theme of life itself, not just human life. This is what guides us. But we seek freedom through the small things in life. And that's where we get caught. However, we have a very powerful means at our disposal. And that is, each one of us is endowed with the power of work, karma. Each one of us. It's one of the most powerful things in the world. So you have the sense of freedom. You also have the power of actualizing it. But like all powerful things, it's a double-edged sword. We either can free ourselves or bind ourselves. And we see this over and over again. This karma has been the cause of bondage, where it should have been the cause of freedom. Why is that? Because somehow our sense of freedom has become limited only to me. It hasn't included others. And when it can extend its old boundaries, then it becomes very easy to actualize this freedom. So moksha, sannyasa yoga. In the colophon of each and every chapter, at the end of each and every chapter, it speaks about the Bhagavad Gita. Every chapter ends with, it is the Upanishads. Upanishads means also the secret knowledge. It also speaks of it as Brahma Vidyaya, the science of the knowledge of Brahman. It also speaks of each chapter as the scripture on yoga. So each chapter is in a way complete in itself. Yes, you cannot say, oh, one chapter leads to the next. And yes, there is a kind of a grand scheme, an unfolding, but each chapter, looked at it individually, is complete in itself. Not only that, in fact, each section of the chapter is complete in itself to offer you liberation. Not only that, each verse is complete in itself. Not only that, each word is complete in itself. So the idea is the microcosm, the small and the big. There is no kind of contradiction. If it is here, it is here, 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 here. So this is the grand theme. So moksha, sannyasa, yoga. It is, as we can see, as Shankaracharya himself says, it's a kind of a summing up of some of the ideas which have been already mentioned here. But then why take this? It starts with Arjuna's question. What is this renunciation? Now, don't get frightened with the word renunciation, because there are two words used, sannyasa and tyaga. Sannyasa is giving up. The renunciation. Tyaga is also means giving up. Even after all this, you must understand that Arjuna, in the 11th chapter, was shown the cosmic form of God. Now, we know God as like us, should be like us. Yes, that also is there. Why not? Then there are higher forms of God. The word God itself has become so ambiguous. So for different people, it means different things. But look at it like that. Think of it as a reality. So he had the cosmic vision of the reality, what it looks like. And this vision, this cosmic reality, is not something static. Because the cosmos is in the throes, in the activity of creation, preservation, destruction. It's a giant recycling machine. Things are broken down and the material is taken and built up. Something else is built up. And the range is staggering, even from that ordinary standpoint of evolution. Look at the range of life that we see around us, which was in the past and now. How is this possible? So this cosmic vision of God, he sees as a cosmic intelligence. That's what this cosmic. Even after this, there should be no doubt anymore. But he does it just to find out the slight distinction between the two forms of giving up. And why is this the idea of giving up? Well, I spoke to you about karma as being very powerful. It has two movements. The two movements are circling away and circling inwards. As we say, nivritti and pravritti. Vritti is, we know it's a wave. And everything in this universe is a wave. Now, whether the wave is a particle or what, we won't go into that discussion. As somebody says it's a particle, somebody says, no, it's a wave. But we can see that things are appearing as waves. Even you and me are like just nothing, just waves. Well, in the cosmic ocean, our thoughts are certainly waves. It moves out, and as it moves outward, what goes out comes back again. It comes back to you. That wave that you released from here, whether through your word or through your thought or through your action. The work or action is the final product of your thought. And before the thought itself, there are various stages where the thought is more like it's diffused, and then it slowly becomes crystallized, not confused. There are thoughts which are confusing. So something that is nebulous then takes a form, and then it comes up as a thought. And then thought is associated with word, language, symbol, and that then comes out as work, karma. And that goes out. You plonk a pebble in a very calm pond, like we have at Tapovan, and you'll see the ripple going out It will go toward the edge of the pond and then it will return. And now imagine you're plonking plenty of pebbles because our thoughts are numerous. And these numerous thoughts are us. The Lord has shown in the preceding chapters how you've got to eliminate the superfluous ripples and raise one strong ripple that will go up and then it will come back to you. And when it comes back to you, when it returns, what it does is it gathers strength with other waves. It combines with other similar waves. And that's what actually happens. You send out a small ripple and it comes back to you as a big wave. This has been known. That's the reason why there's every religious system or every ethical system. Try to be unselfish, try to be good, try to be compassionate. Why? Well, you know why it is. You invest a little and the returns are tremendous. Oh yeah. I don't know, when we were young, there was a song. So it was, Jo ek paisa de do to 10 lakh milega. You give one cent and you'll get 1 million, say, like something like that. And we used to laugh at that. But after studying Indian philosophy, then you say, hey, that was something which was actually true, metaphysically, of course. This is what. So you have the power. It's very powerful, the power of karma, and which can be enhanced 1,000-fold if you do it properly. So the whole Gita was trying to tell you how to build up that reserves, because this karma itself will liberate you. Now, the idea comes is, but then he's talking about the renunciation of all actions. What is this? You're supposed to work. And why should we work? Because we all are the result of work, karma. We are born because of karma. The karma taken in the widest sense. We are born because of karma. We live because of karma. We die also because of karma. And you think it's over. Nothing is over. Wait. Because whatever you started has not ended yet. All your life you have done all the crazy things and the nice things also. You think those waves and ripples are not going to come back to you? So what about freedom? Yes. So if you can fine-tune your thoughts, do work unselfishly. What do you mean unselfishly? Yeah, you can do that work unselfishly. By dedicating your work either to, okay, I do it for the world, or I'm doing it for God. Then the waves and everything will come and they won't bind you. What binds us is, this is mine. This I worked for. And then you're caught. So when you look at this whole world through a very larger picture, then you see how this whole world is working. And there's a tremendous complexity. Nobody has ever been born who can understand this complex world machine. How each and every life is interacting with each and everything around you. We are sitting here quietly, doing something at least. But right now, you are connected with the world around, not the world only around. You are connected with the universe. We don't know that. Yeah. How do you know that? You will know it again through karma. So one is the relinquishing of all the fruits of actions. Keep on working, but this giving up is done through knowledge. You're not at a mature state of knowledge. You can easily give it up. Give the small things you can give up. Yeah. The big things you don't want to give up. Oh no. The small things many things have passed away. But the general principle is when you give up something, it has to be done through your full awareness. You're doing it through knowledge. Then relinquishing things is easy. Once you can see how the complexity of life is being taken care of, you are taking care of other lives. Other lives are taking care of you. What's happening? Why are we living then in a bubble? Well, it's your own mental bubble. Actually, physically, you cannot. Mentally, also, you cannot. That bubble is a bubble of delusion. And that is what the Bhagavad Gita was trying all through to break it. You cannot isolate yourself. No life can ever flourish in isolation. If it can, well, it's not life. So I'll read in Sanskrit the first verse and then the translation. So Arjuna says, Sannyasasya mahabhavo tattvamichhami veditum Tyagasya cha rishikesha pritakeshini sudana. Oh, mighty armed, because he calls Krishna Mahabhavo, the mighty armed. Yeah, he had great biceps and all that. He called also Rishikesha. And he also calls him Keshini Sudana, the slayer of the demon Keshin. So he's asking questions for someone who is competent. It's not someone who is incompetent. So it's just words of praise also and words of love also, because he has seen Krishna all his life. So he says, I want to know distinctly the truth about sannyasa as also about tyaga. So I'll explain. Sannyasa, I'm a sannyasi. Okay. So we are called sannyasin. Sannyasa. Nyasa is to give up, to throw. San is samyak rupena, completely to throw, to abandon. Oh my God. Oh, so what's the difference between me? No, I'm just a kind of symbol. The word itself is to completely abandon things. And he's saying, this fellow has completely abandoned things. We see when a young man comes to join the monastery, sometimes you find it's a kind of a great gaiety. Everybody's very happy, and sometimes they are, they are so sour and they are so kind of caustic, and they are trying to argue and fight and convince the boy, don't. We have brought you up so long, and now you are abandoning us. What is this? They are devotees. If someone else's son becomes a monk, they say, very good, very good. But when is this what you bought you up for? Is this what you're now abandoning us? So the boys also, they know little philosophy. Oh, you married because of me. You did because you had your desires and you brought it up like a duty. You was now that so it's a back and forth. It's a huge, and the mother sometimes she will swoon and faint, and sometimes the elder sister comes and catches a guy and tries to hit him. Come back home. It's great fun, and we watch the whole thing. Don't worry, most of us have gone through it. Let's see how strong is your spirit of renunciation. How convinced you are. There are some who will not meet them head on. They will run away. Where is he gone? Hiding somewhere. And they scour the. So, sannyas, but this is taken in the sense of giving up. Why should people just give up? Oh, but that's part also of your nature. The Bhagavad Gita, the Lord is not telling you something to do things forcibly. Yeah, sometimes it does tell you, it'll hit you on the head. Give it up. This is part of our nature. To grow, we have to give up things. Sacrifice has always been integral to human life and to growth. You will not be able to live the life you are living without the idea of sacrifice. It's impossible. So in other words, it's nothing but sacrifice. What do you mean sacrifice? Why do you sacrifice for these kind of stupid people here? My time and my energy? No, you don't do that. Because that's a law. You sacrifice the lower for the higher. Always. If you want to grow, you want something higher, you have to give up the lower. You cannot put your 2 feet in 2 boats and say, I want this and I want this. You will have to, one day you have to come to the reckoning. I have to give up this for this. It's always, you see in your own life, study your own life, it has always been, but that sometimes is painful. You hug this, oh, this is mine, and then you're getting this, then you're torn between these two things. Which is better? This. But you know in your heart of hearts that this is going to lead me to something higher. Then you give it up. First you do it very reluctantly. And then you get this, oh, thank God I gave that up. I wouldn't have got this. Everything in your life. Oh, it's so painful. Yes, those scars of sacrifice are all there. Every one of us has passed through these struggles. That is why they say human life is one series of sufferings. But if you do it consciously, you do it knowingly, there's no suffering, there's only joy. Give it up. Then you give it up for yourself to grow. And there are some who can give up big things for the community to grow. That also is there. And there are some who can give up things where the whole nation can rise. They are very powerful souls. And these are the ones who are called either God-men, not God-men, not the modern God-men, okay. They are the real symbols of the divine. In the case of Jesus Christ, oh, all right. I said, no, don't. Don't try to. Okay. Don't try to save me. I think he was, somebody tried to save him from being crucified. And he said, no. I want to go up there. In the case of Buddha, they're also saying, no, you don't have to scold him. I wanted to have it this way. These people, they are great sacrifices, raises nations, and has an impact on history. While we have an impact at least on ourselves, at least. But if you rise, remember this, if you rise, others around you will also rise. We always complain the world is bad and this is bad and that is bad. Yeah. People who attach to this, they call it bad. This kind of people are never satisfied. So if you grow, those around you will also grow. You will see this always. So it is part of our nature to give up. This being established, so you say, I want to know severally or distinctly the truth about sannyasa, giving up, and tyaga, which is also a form of giving up. But the words themselves are kind of used in different contexts. It has already been dealt with, as I said in the Vedas also. Sannyasa yoga. This giving up itself is a form of yoga. Because the Lord says, tam yogamiti manyate, viyogam yoga sangnitam. The giving up itself is a form of yoga. Yoga is to give up the lower levels of consciousness so that you can rise up higher. The viyoga, the giving up, the detachment. Yoga is union and viyoga is detachment. This detachment itself is yoga. So you're detaching yourself from this, going higher and higher. So they're saying sannyasa yoga. This is sannyasa yoga. And in the Vedas, they're saying some attain immortality through giving up. Tyage naiki amritatva manas. This giving up is one of the direct means to liberation. Oh, I have to practice spiritual disciplines. Yes, do it. Oh, I have to do the repetition of a mantra. Yes, you've got to do meditation. I'll do this worship, formal worship, informal worship. All these are means. But at the heart of all these is the idea of detachment. That is the direct means. Suppose you don't do anything, don't do any spiritual disciplines, and just become detached, you will be liberated. Is that so easy? Say, yeah. Now liberation is, oh, I'm liberated. There's some time back, some decades ago, there was a women's lib, and now everybody wants, women, men, everybody wants liberation. Children now want, not become a movement. Children want liberation. Everybody wants liberation. The old and the young and everybody wants liberation. Because it is there, it is part of you. So you understand that sense of freedom I mentioned, which is there. And the idea of detachment also is there, idea of sacrifice. To make it smooth, so that you can go from one level to the other, this chapter has been said. So the purpose of Arjuna asking something which is obvious is ruled out. Because if you have come right up till the 17th chapter, it was obvious. Why is he asking this? So just to make that slight distinction, there are these very you can say subtle distinctions between giving up what. This has been Swamiji when he came here to the West. So he was told, you come from a land that has been dead and buried for 5,000 years. And you talk about renunciation. And then Swami says, yeah, but that's the only way, whether you like it or not. If you preach religion as a form of enjoyment, don't worry, the Lord will take care of you. He will give you food, clothes, shelter, and after you die, he'll take you and keep you in heaven, in a place near the throne. It's a form of enjoyment. People will go to you in droves. The moment you preach religion with the element of enjoyment, either here or there, you'll have people. When you try to preach religion, no enjoyment, only giving up. No. That's the reason why Vedanta becomes very difficult. Those who have the sense of, I want to go to a place where I can take it easy. I can drink nectar and dance with the gods or with the angels and whatever. I want that. I want to keep my individuality. You will get plenty of people, droves. Then another guy is shining, renounce and be happy. What? No way. This guy has gone crazy. We know it has to be. Truth, sometimes truth is always hard to accept, always bitter. So, giving up, Vedanta says give up. So saying, why does he have to do? Because there he is not pandering to anybody's sentiments. He wanted to come here, you don't want to go there. It's like that. It's not, no compromises here. So this is the reason why, okay, he comes. So he calls Krishna two things, that is three things. The mighty armed, Rishikesha, and Keshini Sudana. Keshin. Mighty armed, we know. So it's not that there was a cartoon character, I think, when we were little, we used to read that we had very strong, he used to eat celery or Popeye. Popeye had tremendous, like huge arms, thin body but huge arms. It's not like that. When you say mighty armed, everything about that guy is mighty. The legs, hands, head, and everything. Okay, so mighty. Then Rishikesha is got long hair. In those days, people used to wear their hair long. Very long. But there's another. The more correct meaning is one who is the master of one's senses, the sensory as well as the motor. That is Rishikesha. One who has control, is the master. And Keshin is Sudana. Okay, there was a demon. I mean, in those days, demons, like, you must understand. People who are so fixated on their physical body, they are called demons. Okay. So Krishna, as a little boy, had killed one of these guys called Keshin. So he's trying to show him that, yeah, you have the prowess, you have the capacity to tell me what exactly is the distinction between these two, sannyasa and tyaga, the giving up. In both ways, it's giving up. Why is this confusion? Yeah, these two things are not distinct, like the commentator says, like a pot and a cloth. And in India, those guys used to use the illustration of a cut and put. That is pot and cloth. Yeah, it's not distinct like that. But there's a confusion also. At different stages of life, there are different giving up. So he thought probably in the first stage of life where you need to accumulate. Why? Because others are giving things to you, you accumulate. The best illustration is, it's like life is like a tree. You start absorbing things from outside. You absorb air and water and etc. Everything you absorb and you grow. And then the next stage of your life is, that life of the tree is, start giving. Give shade, give fruits, flowers, etc. If you don't, then we know what happens. The arborist will say, hey, take this tree out. Useless. It took and does not give anything. So, at what stage of that giving back is these two terms used? Sannyasa or tyaga, giving up in the initial stage or the later stage. So everybody's life is like that. Swami Vivekananda also gives the example of a room. If there's no air conditioning here, and the rooms and windows, doors, everything are closed. After a couple of hours, we'll feel drowsy and we'll fall asleep because all the oxygen is being depleted. And then if you keep on staying, we'll fall sick. But when you open the doors and windows, first thing that you do is, oh, thank God. Life should be like that. Your windows and doors of your life should be open, kept open. If you keep it closed, you are going to die in that room of yours. You are going to keep it open, others can come in and go. So this was what he wanted to know, this stage. And it's also helpful for us to understand where exactly we need to be and what exactly we need to have or know. Either you do it for God or do it for the world around, for all life. There are these people who are by nature unselfish. Yeah, you can see they are these sattvic types. They are by nature, they go out of their way, help and this and that. There are those, forget helping. Where's the free lunch? Yeah, there. The other type of guys is not interested in giving up, not interested in anything, but only serves to injure, to criticize, to break down. So these are the tamasic, the sattvic, the unselfish. The rajasic, if they, after a lot of banging and beating, they might improve. But generally they are so self-centered. And the tamasic, they are not only self-centered, they think the whole world should revolve around me. And they are the destructive. So it's like people, there are these different types of individuals. There are different types of egos. Sri Ramakrishna says that, well, somebody comes and is given a mango. The first thing that person does is, there are some people who will eat it and wipe out all traces of eating mango and pretend like that person never ate a mango. Another person gets a mango and he looks around for with whom he can share it. You will always have these people. So it's for those guys who like, yeah, okay, take it. If you eat it, I'll be happy. Okay. They have risen above, as a great Swami used to say, above their genetic bonds. You know, Richard Dawkins and all, he wrote the book, The Selfish Gene. The gene is selfish. Yeah? The gene is very selfish. It only, but that there is an altruism also built in that. Yeah, if I'm only selfish, then I'll die. So let's be selfish in a group and take from. The altruism also is built into this system. So Sri Ramakrishna will say there's something called the Kacha army and Paka army. Sri Ramakrishna also says, what is the essence of the Gita? Gita, he says, Bhagavad Gita. So he's saying, you repeat it, keep on repeating it 10 times, it becomes taggy. In Bengali, they will not use the Sanskrit pronunciation, tyaga, tyagi, taggy. So he's saying taggy, 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 taggy. Gita speaks only about giving up. So if you can break that crystallized me and mine, you're free. You don't have to do anything. No. Spiritual disciplines is for you to lead you to this knowledge, and this knowledge will help you give it up. Okay. So giving up, this is another thing that is, I don't want to give up. And yeah, I have to sacrifice, I have to do this. It's always, giving up is always attended with bliss. If there is no bliss in that giving up, be careful, you're still attached to it. You got strings attached. They say give with strings attached. No strings attached. If you give it things up, and you derive bliss or happiness, That is true giving up. Otherwise, you give somebody a gift or something, 20 years after that, you say, you remember? I had given you that. That was with a lot of strings attached. What time do I? 12:30 I take questions or 12? Okay. Oh, you have plenty of time. Okay. So, because we've just later, it took a while because there are many who are new to this study of the Bhagavad Gita. So I had to kind of give a longest introduction to this particular aspect of the Bhagavad Gita. So the second verse. Okay. The Blessed Lord said. I'll read in Sanskrit and then translate it. Kamyanam karmanam nyasam sanyasam kavayor viduhu sarva karma phalatyagam rahustyagam vichakshanaha. Yeah. Now, the learned ones, viduhu, kavayo, kavi. The kavayo, these, in the old days, sages were called poets. A poet? What is poets? Kavayo. Yeah. Sages. Because the Vedas was nothing but sheer poetry. Yes. So, and that's why they were called poets. But no, not just, they intuited the truth. So, they were rishis. So they were called kavi. So kavi. They say, now he's trying to establish that he is not saying something completely new. Truth is just restated. It is, as Swami Vivekananda says, as old as the mountains and as old as the seas. And it is not the property of anyone. There are some people who say, I know the truth. I know the secret. But I'm not going to tell you if you don't pay me $1,000. Come here. So, it is the common property of everyone. Truth. And this truth is ancient. It's not something new. Oh, when was the truth? Oh, it has been there at the beginning of time. So who intuited all these things? These guys. So he said, these, the learned ones, the kavayo, the sages, know sannyasa, the giving up, to be the giving up of actions done with a desire for reward. Okay. The adepts, again he's saying, again using, it's not mine, it's an ancient truth, he's saying. Vichakshana, so he said. The adepts call the giving up of the results of all work as tyaga. Now, there is a distinction here. I'll take the first one, second one. The giving up of all the results of work. You do work. You're supposed to keep on working and working and working. You can't stop. You're saying, no, I am full of renunciation. I've given up everything. Sri Ramakrishna says, you ask somebody, you get me, in these old days, they used to smoke those hookahs. Even nowadays, you ask somebody, you get these burning embers to light the tobacco for the hookah. I say, and a person says, oh, am I competent enough to get embers For yours, hookah, I am such a low guy and you are such a great guy. He just wants to say, you find someone else. I'm not going to do it for you. So excuses. They say, keep on working. Everybody has to keep on working. Why? Because every cell in your body is working. Everything in this world is working. So don't give up work. If you give up work, you die. No, but then I have to take some rest. That's a different thing. Life itself is, as I said, it's work. It's karma. So you cannot stop life. You cannot stop karma. You keep on working. But you give up all the ideas of rewards and punishment also. So when you give up the idea of rewards and punishment, we always keep on thinking, what is in it for me? We always, what is in it for me? Why should I do this? And that has always been the part of thought processes, very calculating. The Patwari Buddhi, Shri Ramakrishna used to say, always should looking, if there's nothing here, I'll go there, somewhere else. What is in it for me? Why should that always be the guiding principle for you to work? Metaphysically speaking, you are supposed to work and not ask questions. They say, who am I? Where am I going? Don't ask these nonsense questions. Keep on working. There was a young monastic who had joined, and the initial years are very, very hard. And he has many questions. And the Swami who's in charge is saying, I'm not going to listen to any of your questions. I just want you to keep on working. He comes to me, because I was a little senior. He I was a visitor also. It is. I can't even ask questions. Why should I do this work, and what is the reason for this? And he just simply keep on working. I said, why don't you follow that advice? No, but I have doubts. But exactly, that work itself will solve your intellectual doubts. It will solve your emotional doubts, your emotional... that guy, he now took my advice, he now took that guy, he had to leave from that place and go to another place. So work, yeah. Holy Mother says, work, it's a goddess of fortune. Work is Lakshmi. When you work, your body and your mind stay fit. The day you take it easy, one day you take it easy, 2 days, 3 days, you take it easy, you spiral out. I'll tell you, you can go for a kind of a hike and you can go for but if you stop working, you spiral out downwards. So work keeps you going up. So keep on working. What is this? Keep on working. Why should I? Am I working for the head of this center? And I have to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. From that time on till I sleep at 11 o'clock, I'm constantly busy. There's something called the work also brings the purification of the mind. So there are people who will work not for the rewards, but for the purification of the mind. Why? Yes, work can counter, positive work can counter negative work. All your problems come in because you have been sitting down and mulling things in your mind, imagining things. But when you're brought down to the reality, oh my God. So instead of sitting down and thinking things, imagining things, getting into idea of delusion, might as well, it grounds you. It makes you real. You know the problems and you are now a problem solver. And you have so many. Why should you always think, what is in it for me? Like this. So this is Tyaga, giving up. The results of work, not work. People say, hey, okay, you have to give up work. No, you have to give up the results of work, not work. There was a young man who had joined a monastery, and like I said, he's busy, study and meditate and work. So he came and he was asking, I thought people go to the hermitage, to an ashram, and just take it easy. They chill. I did not study further because I didn't want to study. But here I come and I've got to study more. I wanted to get away from that idea of work because I saw in India, these light rails, here you find light rails are like empty. There it is packed like sardines. Not only trains, buses, everything is packed like sardines. So we say you want to understand a little of how nice you are, stand on the train terminus and see how people come from the outskirts of the city to work in the city. And when the train comes, people are just hanging out of the doors and come on, they will jog and run and run. They have to catch the bus and then, oh my God. You see like people emerging like ants. So he's saying, I wanted to escape all that. Imagine day in and day out in heat and rain and cold. Who's going to work like that, like a slave? So I thought I'll join a monastery and oh my God. So it looks like it is the double trouble. I don't know, there was some old movie called Double Trouble. The sense of responsibility, the initial years, and we can understand this guy is responsible or irresponsible. That person is an escapist or no. If he's an escapist, sorry, that's the wrong place to come to, especially in our monasteries. No chance of it. So you don't escape. You stand your ground and you be responsible. Swami Vivekananda one time was in Benares and there was a Durga temple. And those who have been there will see those huge kind of monkeys with macaques. They're very violent also. And they try to grab something. If you have something, they're going to take it away from you. So Swami Vivekananda was walking and then through that path, and those monkeys, they chased him. And he just wanted to avoid them. He keeps on running. And the moment they see him running, frightened, more of them come. And they are pulling at his clothes and all, trying to rip them. From the opposite side, another old monk is there. Don't run. Turn and face the brutes. Swamiji stopped, turned and faced, and all the big horde of monkeys just fell back. They faced the brutes, saying, this is the lesson I learned. Don't run away. Don't run away from work. Stand your ground and work. And all the problems you think, they will fall away. Why should I bother about anything else? The highest people, the humanity, they are unselfish. And the difference between humans, we should not discriminate. No, we say, actually, you should not discriminate. But you can discriminate on this one platform. How much unselfish that person is. If that person is unselfish, he's a fool, we'll say. But we know that person is readying herself or himself for immortality. Yes, this is the only way to immortality. So this is working, it's not stopping from working, but giving up the idea of this is for me, I have worked for it, and this and that. In our monasteries also, again, we have a nice method. A Swami comes and he builds, let's say, a big, huge temple for Sri Ramakrishna, and with a lot of fanfare. It's opened, it takes years and years, and that person is over, you can say, worked, and he works himself almost to exhaustion. And then it is inaugurated, and then headquarters come and say, you go to that center, the other center. That person, if he was, I built all this, I got a few $1,000,000 and spent hours and hours with these architects, with the engineers, and with this and that, and all right, you can get out from here and go. And what? Go and look after the dairy farm there. In that particular center, you are made. We know that 2-3 days, in the old days for monks, especially for monks, more than 3 days, don't stay in one place. You'll get attached to something. Get out, keep on walking. But I'm talking about now about you all. At that highest level, why? Like Swami Vivekananda says, the whole world is burning. Can you go out and help it? Do you feel, when you work, you feel others' pain? Because as I said, when you set up that ripple or a wave from here, it touches other lives and it comes back to you. And then you're touched by that. Their sufferings, their joys, their sorrow, and it becomes part of you. You, in a way, are spread out in them and you work for them. Not because there is some camera there and some TikToker there. These are the real. So even Swami Vivekananda says the highest people cannot work. They will think 5 true thoughts. And their thoughts, said, will penetrate the cave walls, cross oceans, and enter deep into the hearts of people and raise them up. These people are too near God to be active and fighting and shouting and doing things. So when you work, there's a physical aspect of work, there is a mental aspect of work, there's an intellectual, and there's a spiritual aspect of work. So you should not, hey, that person is not doing anything, like, see, I'm busy. So that person also thinking of how to do good to the world or somewhere to help. So the spiritual work is the highest form of work. So when you're here, we are discussing, we'll make sandwiches for the homeless and this and that. And yeah, do it. So this is the lowest form of work. The higher is to give life to somebody. Yeah, the food will give life. And higher than the gift of life is the gift of knowledge. So when you keep on working, you are giving this world light, not just sandwiches. No offense meant. Is this world. And then what are you looking out for? Results? You want somebody to come and say, oh, yeah, this is a great man, a great woman. They run answer. No, no. These things have lost its meaning. You'll see how your heart has grown large. And then this giving up has become natural, which is, as I mentioned, is your original state. Then you'll be free. When the knots of the heart are cut asunder, all doubts are resolved, then this very mortal becomes the immortal. The difference between immortality and mortality is just that idea of selfishness. Why do we worship the gods? Because they are unselfish. Why do you worship others? Because they are unselfish. You automatically feel that you should revere some people. There's that idea of worship is also again natural. There are some people you feel that you should not just respect them, revere them, worship them. Because you intuit this is a person who's doing things without any thought for tomorrow. Like I think it's in the Bible also. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. Let there be no thought for the morrow. One of my favorite. Christ, Swami Vivekananda says the religion of Christ is very difficult. Christ was a sannyasin. This. Very difficult. And it's meant for people to give up things. It's not an easy religion. Now it is become easy religion. But it's a very difficult religion. True Christianity, true. What will Jesus do? That guy is saying, the foxes have their holes and the birds have their nest, but the Son of Man does not have a place to rest his head. He was the one. He had nothing. And yet he shook the world. Still shaking the world. This is what we need one day to come up to this. Everybody says you have to become like Christ-like, or Buddha-like, or Ramakrishna-like. This is what it is meant. Where you become the light to the whole world, not to your generation. Oh, as long as time lasts, these people will be there. This is what so the learned ones know sannyasa, the giving up of actions done with a desire for reward. There are certain things, they are, they are, how do you say, they generate more desires. You do this, and this work done will generate more desires, and more desires, and more desires. We are not satisfied. You complete this, and this will lead you to something more, and more, and more. And there you get trapped. No, let me take a small drink. That there's a joke. The son is telling the father, hey, you should stop drinking, drinking is not good. So the father tells the son, have you tried drinking? You try and then you see what it is. Then the son goes and drinks a little. Then he comes and tells his father, I don't know if you want to give up drinking and all, but I'm not going to give up drinking. You can. It's like that. There are certain things which trap you. And it seems innocuous. Oh, it's okay. Just a little chocolate or candy. But you've started something. This will lead you to 2 candies and 3 candies and 4 candies, 5 candies, till you have to go through the diabetic clinic, and then it goes there and then to the hospital rooms, and still that candies are not getting over. It's going. So certain people see, there's a danger there. Give it up. Oh, no. No, have a drink. Nah. You're going, no. There are some, all right, because you're saying I'll take it. Yes, for old time's sake, for friends, I'll drink. There, it's over. This leads you to extricate yourself, you'll have to use double the willpower. You can come out of it, there's no doubt about it. But certain things have the power to grab you and to pull you inside. Deeper and deeper and deeper. Okay. There are hundreds of examples. You'd all know it because it's a lived experience. The Bhagavad Gita is only stating things which are evident. This is the glory of the Vedanta. It states things which you know and recognize. So these sannyasin, they give it up. The whole world will tell you this is the very best. Yeah, I know. Thank you. So advertisements, this and that, and everything is telling you. And you see how the world is kind of tries to deceive you. It wants to sell itself, The Bhagavad Gita I think in the 16th or 17th chapter, that which comes to you like nectar in the beginning and then turns into poison. Yattada gre mritamevya pariname mrito bhavan. There's other type of things that come to you like poison. That will become into nectar. That pleasure one should have. Otherwise, Sri Ramakrishna also says a kite picks up a fish and is flying. and hundreds of crows are chasing it. You know what it is like. And then it's moving over here and there and it cannot escape. What it does, it drops that fish and everybody goes there. You have something, you'll have people coming to you like swarms, trying to exploit you. Hey, give me that, give me that. That's true. And you don't have anything, you don't have to worry about. There's nothing. Yeah, the guy has nothing. So when you grasp things and you hold on things, you will get freeloaders. Tomorrow, if you win a lottery, Powerball, your relatives from where you have never heard of, friends and all these people come. Hey, how are you? We heard this good news. I was coming to Seattle. I will drop in. They all want a pound of flesh. Everybody will come. When you don't have anything, nobody is going to come. They will come for other purposes. When you move in any way, people will find solace and peace. They will come to you for something. They can tell, but this person can be trusted. This person will not deceive us. They will come for that, but not to. So the first type is giving up all desire-laden karma. Karma that will lead you to more and more and more. So it's like that. Somebody said, yeah, I'll just finish the one. Sri Ramakrishna said, how is renunciation should be like this? So he said. So one wife is telling the husband, you are so attached. Look at this. Look at that neighbor. He married 16 wives and he's giving them up one by one. At least that person is renouncing. Saying, what? Is that the way to renounce? Here is the way. Takes a towel on his shoulder and I'm leaving. Good. So renunciation should be like sharp. No, after I finish this, I'll renounce, I'll give up. No. I'll eat this, I'll drink that, and then I will give up. It doesn't happen. Should be like fast. Okay. I could go on and on, but